I finally made my Yoruba craving and the result was out of this world. See, I'm in my season of craving right now. Back from work early, right? I needed to use my 2 hours free time before bedtime. But unfortunately, this one cost me a couple of hours, yeah. I am talking about 4 hours, 30 minutes after my 12 hours shift. Because the next day was Sunday and I already had my day planned out. Because there was no way I would let any form of cooking spoil my activity for that day. So immediately I got back from work, I had to make sure I'm putting on something comfortable and free. Prior to this day, I'd already done some prepping to make my work easy. To reduce the hours I was going to spend in the kitchen. Because if I don't do that, everywhere is just going to be littered with my things. I really don't like it sometimes. My neighbors come into the kitchen, they want to make use of it. There's no significant space because my things are littered all over the whole place. I'm feeling embarrassed due to that. For a lot of times, I try to not let it bother me. All of a sudden, I started craving amala and ewedu, including gbegiri. Trust me when I say I've never had gbegiri in my life before. Because I didn't know what it was. Each time I went for a party, Yatunde's restaurant, I always tell them to take gbegiri far away from me. But on this fateful day, I already told myself that I was going to try this gbegiri to know what it actually tastes like. Instead of next time, I won't reject it. So Pookies, let's spend the evening together. I didn't just make buka stew, I also made vegetable turkey stew on the other hand. Because my brain said you have to do it. I don't know about other people, but for me, cooking is like therapy. I don't ever get tired of it. It gives me joy and some sort of happiness that I cannot explain. This is why if somebody asks me out of the blues to do it for them, definitely we do it happily with no concerns at all. Oh, Pookies, for my buka stew, used a lot of shomba and tomato. Tomato was quite a lot. For some others, they would prefer to use just a little bit of tomatoes and a lot of shomba. But for me, I love tomato a lot. The onion I used for this was next to none because onion gives your dish a whole lot of flavor. I didn't want to parboil my tomato, but I changed my mind because there was too much water inside. My protein, I used tilapia, beef, bomo, and some assorted. Because I couldn't find a wedu leaf. Used okra and spinach, including iru on the other hand to give it that taste. And the gbegiri wasn't even difficult to prepare. Boiled my beans, and when it was properly cooked and soft, let it thoroughly transferred into a pot. Add oil, salt, and seasoning, and allowed it to cook. While I was doing this, I went ahead to clean the kitchen. Make sure everywhere was clean for my neighbors to use it. Fortunately for me, nobody came into the kitchen until I was done. 2 hours, my buka stew and everything else was ready. So I went ahead to start my turkey stew. Not to fry the turkey, but then again, all the flesh in the turkey would just disappear. And I'll be left with bones, so I didn't want that. While my stew was cooking, the face wasn't giving what I wanted it to give. Then I remembered that I got to add some tin tomato. There was no way I could just toss it in the stew like that. It was definitely going to slap. I had to fry it and pour it inside. Immediately I did that, the face of my stew started giving everything it was supposed to give in the first place. Tasted it and it was perfect. An hour 30 minutes, my turkey stew was equally ready. Couldn't portion my stew into different bowls because they were extremely hot. I had to put them on the side to cool off. I woke up the next morning, which was Sunday, to make myself better amala. I could enjoy this craving of mine. See you in my next video, Spookies. Bye.